The Presbyterian Church in Cameroon, in selecting their liturgical passage for last Sunday, seemed to have been very visionary. In all the PCC churches, pastors drew their inspiration from the Old Testament book of Micah, the 7th chapter, the verses 1 to 7. It is a lamentation by the prophet on the evil that is plaguing society. He finds himself caught in a corrupt and decadent environment. "Woe is me," he lamented, "for I have become as when the summer fruit has been gathered, as when the vintage has been gleaned. There is no cluster to eat, no first ripe fig, which my soul desires. The godly man has perished from the earth, and there is none upright among men. They all lie in wait for blood, and each hunts for the brother with a net. Their hands are upon what is evil, to do it diligently. The prince and the judge ask for a bribe, and the great man utters the evil desire of his soul. Thus, they weave it together. The best of them is like a briar, the most righteous of them a thorn hedge. Put no trust in a neighbor. Have no confidence in a friend. Guard the doors of your mouth from her who lies in your bosom. For the son treats his father with contempt, and the daughter rises up against the mother, the daughter-in-law against the mother-in-law. A man's enemies are the men in his house. But as for me, I will look to the Lord. I will wait for the God of my salvation. My God will hear me." The prophet's lamentation fits well with our society today, as we seem to be raising our voices in a sorrowful dirge over the death of morality and rigor. We are bemoaning a society that seems to have lost its scruples, a society that is totally deranged. And when at the opening of a Transparency International meeting in Yaoundé in October last year, I saw the personalities present, I asked myself, how do they feel to be present at a forum in which one's own death sentence is being pronounced? "Woe is me," laments the prophet. But he still was hopeful, in spite of the decadence around him, that God will hear his cry and come to the rescue of the nation. It is, however, strange how we all know of this crumbling state of affairs in our nation, and nothing seems to be changing. We are still among the most corrupt nations in the world, and yet we have an anti-corruption plan, which, as usual, we boast of its effectiveness. We need to examine our strategies. Better still, we need to overhaul our consciences and take pride in bringing back sanity to this nation. As if in consonance with this whole idea of lamentation for our beloved country, we were together with a few journalists at about that time attending a workshop wittily titled "Media versus Corruption." What game are we really playing? Are media men and women up to the task of facing the enemy? Are they morally or mentally strong enough to withstand the onslaught? Do they have the ability and capability to be at the war front to upset this raging and debilitating malaise? And what of the church? In prescribing prophetic tests of doom, have we looked into ourselves? How inside our churches we live with the corruption bug, as some of the most corrupt of us are protected and given royal treatment. We all have a role to play as we lament with the prophet, the church, the media, the individual, all of us, to upset this bad name our country already has. As for me, writes the prophet, I will look to the God of my salvation. My God will hear me. That should be our prayer before the bottom falls out on us.